Hey guys, this is Mrs. Coker. It is July 8th, and I'm just touching base with you guys in regards to your Part 2 Summer Homework and Responsibilities assignment with the SOAPSTone analysis. I did put this email, or rather this PowerPoint, onto Edmodo on May 20th when I gave you guys this assignment. It was in the folders section. If you go to the home page and you have that huge bar in the center where it says, AP language, summer homework, right underneath it you have a bunch of tabs. I believe it says like posts, and I think it's folders and members or something like that. It was in the folders section. But, I just thought make this screencast so I can explain what I mean, just so there are no questions. A few things. I wanted to reiterate the purpose of the summer homework. It is really not to create more work for you guys. And if you really think about it, and I'm going to be honest, if you think you have a lot of work, I have that times 80. So I want you guys to realize that what I assign is really not to give you busy work, it's for a purpose. And I could have given you 3 non-fictional novels to read, and I didn't want to do that to you guys. I wanted to measure your skills. I wanted you guys to start interacting with non-fictional texts and just to get used to what kind of thought process we're going to be doing in the year. And that's why I gave you 3 articles to read instead of 3 novels. So please know that I'm on your side. I'm just not throwing busy work at you. And to reiterate, the purpose of the summer assignment is to prepare for the test in May. And to do that, we're going to be continually practicing our critical reading and writing skills throughout the summer and throughout the year. We're going to be doing a lot of that. The AP English Language and Composition exam has multiple choice questions, and basically what it does is that it tests your skills in rhetorical analysis of prose passages. And also the writing portion, which is the meat and potatoes of that test. It's going to require you to write 3 essays in which demonstrates your skills in rhetorical analysis, argumentation, and synthesis of information. So what I did was I saw that and I'm like, man, I really want them to feel like they own this test in May. So what I did was that I broke down the skills that are needed to not only answer the multiple choice questions, but to also write that essay. And I broke it down into 3 parts. So if you think about it, in theory, your summer homework, which you're doing over the course of 3 months, you're going to do with confidence in May in less than 2 hours. For the writing portion of those 3 different essays. So I literally took the skill that you needed to do, broke it down to its simplistic form, giving you 3 reasonable passages to read. So I hope you know that I am on your side and we are going to knock this exam on its butt and we're going to get a 5 on it, okay? So a few things. A great job to those who, the few of you, unfortunately, there was a few of you who turned in the DEJs on time. I read through them. I'm in the process of actually giving them a letter grade, but I'm very impressed. Of the few that turned it in, about half of you followed the directions appropriately, so kudos to you guys. You did the template appropriately. You turned all readings in on the same document. It was very easy to find, very easy to grade, and very easy to follow. And in addition, those of you who did follow the directions focused on rhetoric for the most part, and I'm very, very, very proud of you. You made me one happy teacher. Make sure that you guys are turning in each assignment part on the same document. There are 3 different readings, but you can put everything on the same document. Please do that. I know I keep reiterating, I am so happy that there are 80 of you, but to grade 80 of them and everyone having 3 different documents that they're turning in each time, it's a logistical nightmare. So please, 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 please turn it in on the same document so I can grade it faster and easier for you. To make everyone's lives easier, including mine and yours. Everything on the same document. The Google accounts. I did post an alert urging you to use your Plano88.net account. I'm not crazy. I mean, I might be crazy, but I'm not being crazy and just being a control freak. There have been times in the past where students have used their personal, either Yahoo accounts, Gmail accounts, whatever, and they've sent me a virus because they didn't know that they had one attached to their email account. Now with the plano88.net account, we have a tech team that that ensures that that doesn't happen. That's why I'm urging you to use your plano88.net account, because you may have a virus attached that you don't even know that you have. But for the sake of summer and to make your lives easier, if you are using a personal Google account, that is acceptable. If you forgot your Plano 88 login, shoot me an email and I will email the tech team to find out your password. So it's your choice. You either email me to find out your password for your Plano 88, or you just keep using your personal account for the rest of the year, or not year, summer. But in the year, you are going to be required, not suggested, required to use that plano88.net account. Okay, that's over with. Parental emails. I did send out an email to all of you who did not turn it in. You're part one of the DEJs, and I had some responses and stating that, can you please email me? And I love the personal accountability. Like, that made my teacher heart smile. The reason why I emailed your parents, there's two reasons. One, your parents should know what's going on in the classroom, so we can all support you in the best way that we can. So I'm still going to be emailing parents. If you would like me to CC you or copy you on that email, I will be more than happy to. I'm all about transparency. I will let you know what is going on. And I hope you know that I'm emailing parents so we can be on the same team and help to support you in any way that we can in your education. And there's another reason why I didn't email you guys. I don't have your emails. The only thing that was given to me was the parent email. So don't think that I'm trying to be sneaky and going behind your back. I just didn't have your emails. So if you would like me to email you along with your parents, just let me know. But I'm still going to be contacting parents when I don't get assignments turned in. Edmodo does lock the assignment after midnight. So if it is due July 13th, Edmodo locks you out after July 13th. Don't email me and ask me what should I do. Part of being a teacher is me helping you work through the crazy thing called life and professionalism. I hope this does not happen on the part 2, but I'm going to be realistic and it probably will. If you miss the deadline, you either, when you emailing me, asking me what you should do, maybe attach the document in question to the email. Or email me and ask me to unlock it. Getting 16 emails at midnight on June 30th, what should I do? Just attach the document to the email or politely ask me, can you unlock the assignment? Because I need to do that manually for each student. Okay, and then please, you guys, no emails past 10. I have Edmodo and I have Google attached to my phone, and let's just say I get a little cranky if I get woken up at midnight, as you might feel the same way. So please, no emails past 10. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so due dates, 29th has already passed. What's next is July 13th. For each article, complete a SOAPSTone analysis. See PowerPoint. Now, this PowerPoint has actually been in the Edmodo folder section since May 20th, but many of you claimed to not be able to find it. We're going to need to work on the helplessness in a bit, but there is a tab on Edmodo called Folders, and that's where this was. But you know what? I understand that you've never worked with Edmodo before, which is why I'm making this screencast for you. So basically, SOAPSTone is an acronym, and it stands for Speaker, Occasion, Audience, Purpose, Subject, and Tone. The speaker is the voice that is telling the story. The occasion is the time and place, the context that prompted the writing. Audience is the group of readers to whom the piece is directed. Purpose is the main reason behind the text. Do not give me a summary. And this is actually the most important part. If you struggle with purpose, I suggest do it last. Don't start struggling with purpose and say, screw it, I'm not doing it. No, do it last. You're better than that, okay? Subject is the general topic, and the tone, and I know for a fact, if you had me or Mrs. Walters for English 2, you did tone till you were sick of it. So I have high expectations for you guys because I know how great you are with tone. But I'll tell you this right now before I move on. I don't want to see positive, negative, or neutral as your descriptive words for tone. We are moving beyond that. We are juniors and seniors in high school. We are moving beyond that. And a speaker can have multiple different tones throughout a piece. Just as in this PowerPoint presentation, you can probably say that I have had multiple tones speaking to you. It's your job to find all of that. Okay, so now we're moving on to how do I find out who the speaker is? Now, this is beyond the elementary of, it's Mrs. Coker who's speaking. Yes, I know the author of the piece. However, the author is not necessarily the speaker, and there is so much more into who is speaking. I'll give you an example. If I came to you guys and I gave you a speech about being a pro football player, are you going to take me seriously? Probably not, because A, I'm rather clumsy when it comes to anything football related, and I don't play football. So why would you listen to me? Me as a speaker on that topic is not credible, and it pretty much kills whatever I have to say. So basically what you're asking is, who is speaking and why am I listening to them? So while reading the text, ask yourself this question: who is speaking? Don't confuse the author with the speaker. They are two different voices, sometimes two different personas. For example, this dude Jim is a reporter from the NY Times, but the speaker in that piece is a man trying to influence readers to steer clear of a new product. So, how do you go about this? These are a couple of questions that you can ask yourself. What is the point of a speaker? Why do we care who is speaking? How does that influence the text? And how does it influence the reader? The reader is the audience. And who is speaking to the reader? So, for example, JFK. Don't sit there and tell me that the speaker is JFK. That is not enough. Why are we listening to him? Why is what he is saying important? Because if we go back to my analogy of giving you guys a speech about football, if I give you guys a speech about how to be an English teacher or what it was like in high school, you might give me a little bit more credibility on the topic of my speech, on who I am as a speaker. But if I change my topic to football, why is the audience going to listen to me? So you really have to look at the context of the speech and ask yourself, what type of JFK's personality is speaking to the audience? Okay, that's what you need to ask. Occasion. While reading, it's important to determine what event influenced the text. You guys post Twitter updates, Facebook statuses, and Instagram picture captions almost on a daily basis. Or even Snapchat, you put context to the picture that you're sending or video. There is an event that influenced that. Okay, if you post Mrs. Coker is the worst, hashtag summer homework sucks on Twitter. I hope you don't do that, but if you did, you had something that influenced that. It was the summer homework assigned to you, and it caused anger or it caused angst. So something influenced or provoked this piece. Ask yourself what it is. Consider while determining indication, why do we write? Why does it matter? Do we just write about anything and everything, or are we influenced to write? And as I just pointed out to you, whether it's something as simple as a 140 character tweet or 140 character Snapchat, you are influenced to do that by some event. What event was that? Ask yourself, why is the person writing now? What major event or occurrence inspired this piece of writing? Example thought process. Are they writing in response to a new law, ongoing war, a celebrity mishap, a major world crisis? To ask yourself. Go broad, world, then go narrow, personal. Okay, and ask yourself, why did the writer write this? Audience. While reading the text, it's important to determine who is the intended audience. Okay? And please, and I'll go back to JFK because that's the obvious one. Don't put the American people. I want specifics. JFK was not speaking to all Americans. Was he speaking to new voters? Was he speaking to Young single women? Was he speaking to men going to war? Who is the intended audience? Who did the author write this for? Now, if we go back to my analogy of the Twitter status about Mrs. Coker and the summer homework, if you wrote that, you wrote it because you were angry about the event of summer homework. The audience was fellow AP students to gain sympathy. Or you might even say, I hope Mrs. Coker sees it so she knows how much I hate her. Whatever, but you can interpret what the audience is. And if you put whether it's fellow AP students or Mrs. Coker, if you explain it, you're all good to go. Okay, so determine who is the intended audience. Ask yourself, who is the intended audience of this text, and why write to this specific audience? Like I said, to fellow AP students to garner sympathy, to Mrs. Coker so she knows how I feel about summer homework and maybe she will change her mind. Okay? All right, purpose. This is the most important part. As you can tell, it has the most stuff on the screen, but I'll try to get through this. While reading the text, it is necessary to understand the purpose of the text, or why did the author compose this text? You have to think the call to action. What did the writer or speaker want as an outcome? Okay? Did the writer speaker want likes on their Twitter status to feel better that they're not alone? Did the writer want Mrs. Coker to reach out to that person to say, you know what, Susie Q, you can have an additional extension, or you know what, you're right, forget summer homework? What was the call to action? Everyone writes and speaks. Think about it. Every time you write and speak, you want a call to action. I wrote this PowerPoint and I'm making a screencast speaking because I want you guys to learn and I want this to be an easy process for you. That is my call to action. Okay, that's what I want out of it. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of the writing? What is it intended to do? What is the speaker hoping to achieve? Is there a goal? Example thought process. Are they trying to influence consumers to buy a certain product? Vote for a specific politician, save their money by investing, send their kids to a private school, gain sympathy and know that they're not alone, so on and so forth. So that is the purpose of SOAPSTone. Subject. While reading the text, determine the subject of the text. This is not a summary. It's the general content, topic, and ideas presented. Think literally and figuratively. So if I say, yo, what was the subject of the movie Ted? It was hilarious, by the way. What is the subject of the movie Ted? You say it is about a bear that came to life and is fighting for his human rights. Okay? This is kind of like theme. You're not giving the general plot. I didn't say Ted. I didn't tell him John. Okay? You're not given the general plot. You give the general content of what is going on and the purpose kind of at the same time, to be a human. Okay? Ask yourself, what is this piece of writing about? What topics does it concern? Why does it matter? That's even more important. Now, Ted isn't really an in-depth movie, but you can argue, why does it matter? To show that everyone's a life, no matter how big or how small. Kind of Horton Hears a Who kind of thing. So why does it matter? Example thought process. Are they writing about the war in Iraq, a new law that just passed, a hot new celebrity? So the subject of the piece. Last but not least, tone. You have been working with tone ad nauseum in English 1 and 2. And again, I killed, these are dead words. Positive, negative, and neutral. Dead. Dead to me. You're not using them. You need to put it all together, lather it up. Get it? Ha ha. You're laughing. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Soap. Okay, anyway, going back. While reading the text, one of the most important questions is to, what is the tone of the text? Look at the word choice, sentence structure, types of language that is used. Connotative meaning over denotative meaning. We do that when we converse. You have an emotional response to what someone says or writes because of the connotative meaning of words. If I say to you, that commercial was pathetic. Now, the connotative meaning of the word pathetic has a sad, depressing, eerie, connotative tone to it. But the actual definition, knowing your linguistics, pathetic just means elicits emotion with pathos, elicits emotion. Okay, so it doesn't have a negative denotative meaning or depressing denotative meaning, but there's a connotative meaning. So focus on the connotative meaning of some of the words. Ask yourself, how is the author saying what he's saying? What is his attitude towards the subject and towards the audience? Example thought process. Is the speaker angry, biased, persuasive, or is he neutral? Now, we're not saying neutral, but neutral as in the speaker does not state a position, however, shows both sides of the issue by using connotative words that balance the topic. So something like that. But yeah, that's the tone. And this is going to be, I hope, one of your longest sections of the SOAPSTone analysis, because as you learned with Mrs. Walters and myself, tone has to have textual support. Otherwise, you didn't do it right. And you're not really proving your point. You can say, Mrs. Coker had a very chastising tone. Well, what did she say? I don't know. Okay, so we're not going to believe you. And you're proving to me that you know how to do this. So basically, that's what it is. Part 2, the SOAPSTone analysis. You will need to put the SOAPSTone analysis for all 3 documents, all 3 readings on the same document. You will be graded on the quality and effort of your work. It's due July 13th by midnight, and Edmodo will unfortunately lock you out, but use the safeguards as I explained to you. I'm going to post a template as to how I would like this to look, and this template is to make, again, your life easier, so please try to follow the template as much as you can. If you have any questions, do your best to avoid doing this last minute. I had so many emails on June 29th. Oh my God, I don't know how to do this. Well, you've had over a month to do it, and it's a DEJ. I understand that this is brand new for you. Try it. Do your best. Try to get this done before July 13th. Make your lives easier, not as stressful. And as always, I am here for you. I am on summer break, as you are as well. So it might take me a day or 2 to get back to you, but have that in mind and know that I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon.